This one will leave you feeling a little sick, not even gonna lie. Let's get into it though.
For action investigation. A 31-year-old woman who admits to having sex with a 13-year-old boy and then becoming pregnant with his child won't face any jail time under a plea deal with prosecutors.
11 Call for Action investigative reporter Matt Kroschel is joining us live tonight. Matt, 31-year-old Andrea Serrano was facing sexual assault charges,
31.
but accepted this new plea deal to stay out of prison.
Adam Serrano gave birth to a baby boy. She admitted to having sex with that 13-year-old. The victim's mother, who we're not going to identify in this story, tells us she is not happy with this deal offered to a woman she says ruined her son's life.
Oh my God. So this lady actually isn't about to face any jail time? Are you kidding me? Nah, something about this one ain't sitting right. It's just looking bad. Technology's getting better, but the people in this world are just getting worse. Like, holy, she essentially just ruined this dude's life. He's 13. Like, and come to think about it, it takes 9 months. He could have been 12 during this, to be honest. We don't know that. We don't know how they met. Usually it's the teachers that are getting away with stuff like this. We see the women teachers do this. They get a slap on the wrist. Some of them don't get pregnant, but they're having intercourse. And their buddies talking about it on Snapchat, wilding out. And that's how people find. This is unsettling. The system needs to be revamped, to say the least.
I feel like my son's robbed of his childhood. Now he's having to be a father. He's a victim, and he's going to have to live with that for the rest of his life.
This mother says watching her son struggle with the reality he now faces breaks her heart.
That's just crazy. Why would they not give custody of the baby to the mom of the boy? Like, the only reason why she doesn't have jail time, well, of course the system's little double standard there, but the only thing that I could make logic to would be, you know, the baby needs a parent, like a biological one, to raise it up. Plus, going through that during prison or jail, higher chances of miscarriage. So it's just like, those are the reasons that you're giving for not giving her jail time? Like, we literally see Netflix shows where the woman has a baby behind bars. They have to go to the doctor in jail, and then they literally take the baby away. What's so special about this case? Like, something's just like, this shit don't make sense.
What has this been like for your son?
It's caused him a lot of depression. He's shut down a lot.
Now she questions why this woman won't face prison time.
I feel like if she was a man and he was a little girl, it would definitely be different. They would be seeking incarceration.
Oh my God. Hell yeah, they would. They would be seeking more. He would be getting grilled. We would know so much information about him. And when he comes in there, he's getting worked. They're not playing that in the inside. They're not playing that. So the fact that she's actually getting a deal when she did this with a preteen, he's barely a teenager. This is his first year being a teenager, and now he's a daddy. Ooh-wee. They must not like his mom to not give him custody. Like, something's got to be going on. This story is wild. But this is just, I mean, when you let all the teachers do what they do and get away with it, and the other women we've seen throughout, literally there's a case by month where there's some woman taking advantage of a younger kid, and they're usually 13, 14, 15. And they're getting slaps on the wrist. If you do nothing about it, of course this is going to happen. Over and over again. This is ridiculous,
and
man.
I feel like because she's a woman, they're having compassion for her because she was pregnant.
I mean, of
I don't
course.
think they take into play, again, she was pregnant by a child. You know, that child was created from a sexual abuse.
Like, that's just a lot to unpack. It's a lot to think about at the moment. But once you hear one or two things, you're like, oh, nope, throw the key away, put her in there. She needs to sit her ass down for at least 10 to 15. That's ridiculous. So you're trying to tell me she's 31 in Colorado, and you're telling me there's no play for you? Nah, something going on. She's a sick individual,
Under
to say
terms
the
of the
least.
plea deal the suspect signed off on, she'll be required to register as a sex offender, and the judge could sentence her to 10 years to life of sex offender intensive supervised probation.
Man, that shit don't mean nothing. Some 10 years to life of sex offender education. She's not giving us. If anything, she's gonna learn how to get away with it better. Like, what the? And she's an offender on the offenders list, and you still have custody of a kid. Like, how does make that compute? You're on the offenders list, yet you have direct access to be able to offend the same type of victim that you get put on the list for. Like, what? And what makes the court thinks that she's the ideal person to give that baby the perfect situation to live? Not even perfect, just the ideal situation to grow up in. Like, clearly she's gonna be a single mom if she's around her doing this weird crap, and it can't be stable at the house. Like, it just, man, this courtroom is just, Colorado is just, man, I don't know about y'all court system. It's seeming a little bit garbagey over there, but I can't blame it all on Colorado, because we've seen from multiple headlines where there'd be teachers do stuff and with students, see them every day, and they get away with it. They get a slap on the wrist. The most I've seen is maybe a year or 2 in jail. But they're ultimately getting away with it. Like, this is just getting a slap on the wrist. Of course this is happening more. And since you set that precedent in the court, if you're a good lawyer, they can reference cases where they were more lenient, where cases, show that they got this type of deal. So they can just bring those cases up when the other teachers got a slap on the wrist for this case, making the judge have to do something along those lines, or he's going to seem like a judge that's literally either holding a grudge or showing leniency to. So that's why those cases are referenced. Like, man, this is wild.
But Serrano will avoid any jail time since the DA's office dropped the original charges to a lesser charge that does not come with mandatory jail time.
What type of fucking DA is that?
Don't trust anybody, honestly. I mean, you can't trust anybody now.
It's sad to say, technology's getting better. People are getting worse. Like, what is going on? Like, you trying to tell me the AI is going to be more trustworthy than a freaking... like, at this point, man, it's getting bad. Like, man, that's crazy.
The victim's family says they are looking for the next steps in this case, and they'll actually ask the courts to give custody to the 13-year-old of this baby. Adam and Lindsay, what we do know is that Serrano has a hearing coming up in May where she will learn how much probation time she'll have. Currently, Serrano has full custody of the baby. Back to you.
Okay.
She still has full custody. The court seems to not be doing anything about it. The victim's family has to ask for the 13-year-old boy to have custody. He's not going to get custody. He's too young. You have to make an argument for the mom to get it. And the mom better have her P's and Q's together. Like, she better have some dick behind them doors. A man to balance out this situation, because this is absurd, man. And now she's going to go back and get probation? Who cares how long her probation is? Nobody cares how long you're on probation. You ain't going to jail. That's just absurd. But I'm sure there's going to be some updates. I'm not sure if the court system is going to fix any of this, or like, where are the humans at in this situation that are making decisions? Because this seems like literally just leniency is going on. And I mean, granted, it is a woman, but I feel like it's more of the cases that happened before with other women that have done similar things and got off with a slap on the wrist. You set that precedent. It needs to be unset. This is an opportunity to do that. Are they going to take it? More than likely not, as we can see. She has full custody. Like, neck tats and all. Big custody. Man, this is just crazy. What are people in the comments saying? Yeah, forget the comments. It doesn't even matter. Like, when wrong is wrong, you call it out. This is literally a failure from the court system, a failure from the DA, failure from Colorado. This is just failure all over the place. And granted, the mom might have been able to teach her son not to be doing stuff like that, but this is ridiculous to say she gets 0 jail time. Took advantage of a preteen. He's a teenager for 1 year. Not even. We don't know if this happened when he was 12. Like, come on. There's too many people in Colorado for you to be picking kids. This is ridiculous. But there's probably going to be some more updates on her. I'm definitely going to tap back into this. She needs to rot. And yeah, hopefully that happens. We'll see what develops. And I'll see you guys on the next video.